Hello, today I will be discussing client-server systems, the foundation of most modern computing environments. We'll look at how they work, their advantages and disadvantages, and how technologies like scripting languages and frameworks support them. A client-server system is a model where servers deliver data or services to clients. The server hosts, manages, and secures information, while the client requests and uses it. These systems are used almost everywhere, from web apps to corporate databases. In this presentation, I'll cover the key concepts like security, single points of failure, backup, scalability, processors, and scripting technologies. One major advantage of client-server systems is improved security. Since data and applications are centralized, administrators can enforce consistent security policies and apply updates and monitor usage. Apply updates and monitor usage. For example, a company can store employee records on one secure server and require all offices to authenticate through it. However, this centralization can also be a disadvantage. If a hacker gains access to the server, they can compromise all the data. In my company, we experienced this firsthand in 2022 when a ransomware attack encrypted an entire server through a malicious USB device. A decentralized system could have limited the damage by isolating the attack to just one location. A single point of failure means one part of the system can bring everything down if it fails. In client-server systems, the server is often that single point. If it crashes or loses power, every client connected to it loses access. That's why redundancy and failover systems are so important. They make sure the system keeps running even when one part fails. Backup and redundancy are essential for organizations that rely on continuous uptime, like hospitals and banks or universities. Redundancy means having duplicate components ready to take over if something fails. If this can be done with software redundancy, where multiple copies of an application run behind a load balancer, or hardware redundancy, where backup servers automatically activate when needed. Backups are also critical to recover data after major incidents such as ransomware attacks. Load balancers and scalability refers to how easily a system can grow or handle more users. There are two main ways to scale: horizontally by adding more servers or application instances, and vertically by upgrading existing hardware. For example, a small startup might begin with one web server, but their traffic grows and they add load balancers and new servers through platforms like AWS. This flexibility allows companies to expand without starting over. Client-server systems use both front-end and back-end processors. The back-end processor is responsible for database operations, storing, retrieving, and managing data. The front-end processor handles client interactions, taking user input and sending it to the server. Together, they keep data processing efficient and communication fast. In my experience, I have not used Google Docs for sharing documents. At my company, we rely on network drives instead. Each project has a shared folder that the entire team can access, and personal folders for file uploads. While this setup is simple and secure, it does not offer the same real-time collaboration features that cloud-based tools like Google Docs provides. On the client side, scripting languages like JavaScript make web pages interactive and dynamic. JavaScript powers about 99% of websites today, either directly or through third-party frameworks. It handles form validation, animation, and real-time content changes without needing to refresh the page. For instance, when you type in an invalid email in a form and get an instant error message, that's JavaScript at work. Frameworks like React and Angular take this further, allowing developers to build an entire application in the browser. On the server side, we have frameworks and languages that process client requests and manage databases. Microsoft's .NET framework supports multiple programming languages and is great for enterprise-level apps. Ruby on Rails uses a model view controller design to speed up web development. Python frameworks like Django and Flask are popular for the flexibility and strong database integration. PHP remains one of the most common languages for server-side scripting. It powers content management systems like WordPress. In summary, client-server systems are the backbone of modern computing. They offer centralized control, scalability, and reliability, but they also bring risks like single points of failure and potential security vulnerabilities. By implementing redundancy, backups, and scalable frameworks, organizations can maintain secure and efficient operations even as their needs grow.